Colleen, is there any food kids love more than Mexican?
Elena, pizza?
No.
How about hamburgers?
No.
Corn dogs?
No. The answer is no. Kids love Mexican food.
That is true.
And that's what we're making today. Welcome to the show. I'm Elena Bowler.
And I'm Coleen Jamison. Today we're making kids' favorite kind of food.
Mexican.
Yes.
Moms and dads will love it too. It's a healthy riff on a tostada made with turkey, and we'll have fresh guacamole.
Plus, we'll be making a trip up to Skyview High School where they serve more than 1,000 lunches each and every day.
But first, our tostadas. Here's a list of ingredients and how much they cost.
Tostada taco shells, $2.59. Beans, 69 cents per can. Turkey, ground turkey, $2.99.
That's for a pound. Lettuce, $1.29 a head. Avocados, 69 cents each, and a lemon, about 69 cents.
A small brick of cheese for $2.73, which came out to 89 cents per pound. Now, the total for all of these ingredients came to $11.67.
Now, for 8 servings, that's $1.45 per serving.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so we're gonna start first by chopping a couple cloves of garlic and a half of an onion. Colleen's got the onion.
That's right.
I'll do the garlic. For garlic, the easiest way to do it is, get that clove off and then smash it, and then it peels really easy, and that's basically the easiest way to get that done.
I need some goggles for these onions. They are
it might
making
be a
me cry.
little ripe there. Okay, and then I just kind of chop. I don't really have a special way to do garlic. I just kind of chop it up and get it as small as I can, and count on the oil and the onion to kind of mix it all together. So we've already prepped the lettuce and the cheese. Colleen got the cheese, I got the lettuce, thanks, teamwork. And so we have a can of beans. You can do whatever you like. I'm doing pinto beans. You can do refried or black beans, however you want to do it. We got the avocado, some lemon for that, our ground turkey that's nice and thawed out, and our tostada shells. And I am going to drain and rinse the beans now. There's a couple reasons why you want to drain your beans. And one of the reasons, of course, number one is just to get that kind of weird filmy stuff that's been in the can off. But also, you can see them kind of bubbling up a little bit there. That is breaking down, getting rid of what will happen in your stomach is basically the creation of gas, and we don't want that. We'll cut that down. Lastly, a good reason is to get rid of a lot of the sodium that's. You can actually cut it down by 1/3. There we go. Okay, and so Colleen's going to get the onions and the garlic, and then get the turkey meat going. I am going to start the beans, and we'll just put our rinsed beans in here. And I like to doctor them up a little bit because they can be a little bland. Just as refried beans can be. So what I do is mash up the pinto beans a little bit, put a little bit of milk, just any kind of milk you have, it doesn't really matter.
And we don't need to cook the onions and the sausage separately, right? We can just throw it all in together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would let the onions brown a little, I would let them brown a little bit.
That makes sense.
And then throw that stuff in there. So I mash these guys up. And then if you have, I have like a favorite seasoning that I like. If you have a favorite seasoning, you can put them in your beans. I use the same thing in the beans and the turkey. So
that's good stuff. The
that's
choni
right there.
Cherries, or however we pronounce it. However you pronounce it. But
it
is really one of the best.
He may be Creole,
seasonings.
but we're using them in our Mexican food, and I use them for everything.
For everything. Yeah.
So we do that, and I also, you can throw a little bit of hot sauce or salsa or something in the beans too, which actually helps
So you're
flavor.
basically making like a refried bean.
Yes.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
Delicious.
What
an easy way too.
I mean, in like a snippet of the time.
Yeah, instead of having to soak the beans, just use canned, rinse them well, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Love it.
And you make far fewer too. If you want to make a big batch, you can always do the old school way, but
That's true.
it takes a couple days instead of a couple minutes. So there's that. I'm gonna go get a little salsa, and I'm gonna put a little of this in here.
Okay.
This is a new little thing. There we go. And I'm pretty liberal with spices in all my dishes, so that's good to go. Good to know. We're getting a good sizzle on the onions. That sounds good.
You know, I made some corn on the cob the other night, and I put this seasoning on it too, and it was delicious. Just grilled it on the barbecue, wrapped it in foil.
Well, I'm going to tell you
butter
what.
on there?
Yes, and I made fish tacos. I mean, tacos, but that's okay. Fish tacos, anything. I'm gonna get some salsa.
Okay. So while Elena's getting the salsa, we're still browning these onions and garlic. Want to get them nice and brown, and we're gonna start. You want them to be translucent. That's how you know that you've cooked them, and you're not gonna get that blast of raw onion flavor. So these are cooking up nicely, and we're gonna add the sausage and brown that up.
Yeah.
Turkey sausage, yes.
No, it's just turkey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're cooking
It
'em-
is ground turkey. It's not turkey sausage.
See, this is good. It's just a little kick, a little extra kick.
Yum.
You may be dying when we put our tostadas together because it's going to be so spicy.
I like it.
But I like it too. So I let these cook down, mash them a little with my fork.
So how long does it usually take to get those beans to where you really like them?
You know, I would say 5 minutes,
Okay.
maybe at the most. But you can put them on low and you can simmer them and get them really mashed. I mean, almost disintegrated into it depends on how creamy you like your beans. I mean, if you like them creamy, then you do that. If you like them a little more lumpy, then
Sure.
don't do it as long. Don't add as much milk, all that kind of stuff. Don't mash them as much.
So I would imagine you could even use a slow cooker if you didn't want to have to stand over them for a long period of time. Maybe
Yeah,
just slow cook
yeah,
them
you
for
could
a
slow
couple
cook
hours or
them.
something.
Make sure you add a lot of liquid, obviously, if you're going to slow cook, because that's hours and this is literally minutes. So, yes. Okay, those are starting to look good there. Yeah, is that getting too hot?
No.
Or not hot
I was
enough?
turning it up a little bit,
good.
yeah.
You know, getting the kids involved a little bit, like either chopping or even just stirring. I know it gets hot at the stove, but I stand with my son and he stands up here and I hold on to him and I'll let him stir a little bit, and he just loves it. And then he's
great.
so much more adventurous when it comes to eating when I do that.
That's an excellent point. When they help make it, they want to eat it.
Absolutely.
Which is nice, because if you're like my child, a little picky, and getting her to eat wholesome, nutritious food can sometimes be challenging. So getting her involved is definitely a big help.
So these beans are really starting to cook down. I turned the heat down a little bit because they were kind of going a little fast. But, you know, we're just cooking for our family right now. I mean, imagine cooking for hundreds, almost 1,000 people every day.
Yeah, that's right. And that's exactly what Skyview High School is doing. And we went down there to check it out.
So we come in the morning around 5 and turn on the lights and turn on our ovens and our warmers. So 6:50 to 7:30 we're doing breakfast. My second team comes in, they start the burgers and the corn dogs and the chicken and they add the sandwich bar. We got pizzas cooking and then we have students. We have 10 students that come in and they start prep work for the next day.
I think it's really fun to get experience and to get out of the classroom. You get a lot more first-hand experience and you can apply it to jobs outside of school.
It gives them a chance to learn how to cook, what it's like to work in a restaurant. We consider this a restaurant when they're in here. Then 10:15, well, about 10:05, I come out and I check everything, make sure everybody is where we should be. And then at 10:15, we serve lunch, and we serve lunch all the way until about 11:30.
Yeah, they're totally fun. They're just like us. We always tease each other, make jokes.
It's not so much the food, it's the students. The students and the staff, that's what I love.
Okay, so we are almost ready. I'm gonna make the guacamole, and then we're gonna plate these dishes and get this tostada eaten. One quick way, I know sometimes people shy away from fresh guacamole because it's the avocados.
Yeah, how do you know when they're ready and ripe?
Exactly, and there's nothing better than fresh guacamole.
Absolutely.
There's a couple ways you can tell if an avocado is ripe. One, there's a sticker that says ripe, but you can't always trust that. So what I do is I give it the squeeze test, and if it's firm but a little squishy, that's a good sign. And also another good sign is this little guy up here where it used to be attached to the tree. If that comes off really easily, that's a good sign that you've got a avocado ready to go.
Perfect.
Okay, so hopefully this avocado is ready to go and it doesn't make a liar out of me.
Right. Fake you out.
Yeah. Thank you, avocado.
Good.
Pretty good, yeah. Okay, another thing I do which can be a little dangerous is to get the pit out. I do that, and that didn't work on that one, but that's okay. I slice it up here, and then I scoop it out. So let me cut another one up.
So slicing it makes it a little easier to get it all out of there.
A little easier, yeah. Let's do this one. This one looks like it's gonna.
So how many avocados do you use for your guacamole?
You know, I use 2 to 3, and I'm just gonna use 2 today because, you know, for our purposes. Sure. But depending on how much you want, I mean, I don't like any of it to go to waste, so I want to make sure it's enough that we can eat it all.
Sure.
So. And then I just scoop it in like that. And then scoop it out like that. And it comes out in pieces, which is nice.
Makes it a little easier to smash, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get the pit out of this one, a little more messier than normal. But of course, when I'm trying to do it for TV, it doesn't work as nicely. But that's okay. Still good. Oh, this is good. Get her in there. And then basically just do a little squeeze of lemon. And I just cut the end off a new lemon. That's not going to be enough. But, and then I just kind of use my hand to.
So I've heard of some people using a lime, Elena. Why do you like to use the lemon in your
I
guacamole?
prefer the flavor. I think lemons tend to be a little sweeter, and limes have that limey bitterness. I mean, maybe a lemon's bitter too, but I think it's a little sweeter.
Okay.
I just wash my hand off.
Imagine it being a little bit of a brighter.
Yeah, and it
flavor,
also
maybe?
helps. Citrus in general will just help keep the color of your guacamole. So if you make it a little ahead of time, then it won't turn brown on you. And let me get my trusty seasoning here. And I'm pretty liberal with that, like I said.
So you don't measure it out, you just kind of go for it.
Oh, I
and
don't,
sprinkle.
yeah. And then you can always taste. And if you don't have this seasoning, salt and pepper and lemon. You can do dry garlic, whatever you have. You could put a little spice in it, a little paprika, a little chili powder, whatever you have. And, you know, experiment with it. You can't really go easy on the salt at first, and then take a chip out to test. And
yeah, some people it's like peanut butter, they like it chunkier, some like it creamier.
yeah, and it also depends on your avocado too. Okay, this looks good. I think we're ready to plate.
Looks great.
Let's grab one of our tostada shells. here we go. So for assembling the tostadas, I always start with the beans, and it helps you construct gives you a good base to stick, for everything to stick to, because these things can.
You know, a fun little trick too that I learned from a Mexican restaurant I was at recently. Sometimes they put a little dollop on the plate so that your tostada will stick to the plate and not slide around, especially if you're plating them at the counter and you want to take them over to your family at the table. That way they're not going to go zinging off your plate and onto your floor.
Healthy dose of lettuce. And you can use, we're making turkey tacos here, so that's a little healthier than your traditional. And I'm just using a nice green lettuce, but you can use spinach if you're trying to get a little more, health food into a little more veggies. Slip them in there. That's a good way. Yeah. A nice dollop of avocado.
Yum.
And then I like to sprinkle a little, I buy a little can of, it's called El Pato, but it's a Mexican tomato sauce, and it has a little kick to it. And sprinkle that on top, and voila.
Wonderful.
We should taste. Yeah. We should taste. Here we go.
Get the knife here. Do we need to cut it?
Sure. We can try it, or you know what? Let's try and cut it. Okay. And then I usually just break it apart anyway. And I'm going to use this fork. And that way we can get little pieces, and you can get some goodness on each. There we go. And it's easier to eat if you're not trying to eat it whole, because they're tostadas. They break apart. Okay, Colleen, I'm going to give you that one. I'm going to do this one and get myself a nice little bite there.
Yeah, cheers.
Avocado. Cheers.
That's outstanding.
Well, it's as easy as that, making a healthy and delicious meal for your family.
That's right, and we thank you so much for joining us this time, and be sure to tune in next time, because we're going to be out and about finding more delicious recipes that are not only healthy for your family, but affordable. That's right. Thanks again. For now, I'm Colleen Jamison.
And I'm Elena Buller.